Charlie organizing during this transition. Hi everyone, I'm Maria Syms. I know so many of you have already been out there working for me, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. About 10 years ago, I think I stood in someone's living room and I said the course of our nation is going to be decided more and more in these living rooms, in these churches, and it's coming to pass right now because of the dysfunction we are seeing. So I love the energy in this room tonight. We are going to vote red, and we're going to keep it that way. So thank you for every single person who's standing up to do their part. Thank you. If it's one takeaway about me that I want you to remember tonight, it's that you are not going to have to guess where Maria Syms is voting. I have a record. I served in the legislature as your representative in LD 28 before the Democrats came in. We're not going to let that happen again. I know none of you are going to let that happen again. I have a record of strong support for border security, life, school choice, and of course, pushing back against government overreach that has just gotten out of hand. And that is the kind of legislator I will continue to be for you. There's a lot more work to be done. I was an assistant United States attorney and an assistant attorney general, and I spent my career fighting for safer communities. Our work is not done, like I said, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much more to do. As a state representative, I worked very hard to stop the influx of drugs in our communities, of human trafficking, and more. That is the key. Government's #1 job is to keep our communities safe, and we've been falling down on the job, and it's time to stop it. You may be familiar with some of my signature legislation. I proposed, introduced, and passed laws that strengthened penalties for sexual predators to keep our kids safe online and in our communities. One of my biggest successes was the clearing of 6,000 rape kit tests that have been sitting on the shelf. And that led to multiple convictions in cold cases. I'm very proud of that work. I was able to work with the Department of Public Safety to get it done. It is possible. As a result of my partnership as a representative in my partnership with the Department of Public Safety, we were able to get our police officers the resources they needed so that they could solve these cases. One very compelling case is the story of Allison Feldman. Some of you may have read about her in Scottsdale. Brutally murdered in her first home she ever bought. A young woman just starting out in life. Could be anybody's daughter. Brutally murdered in her own home. 2 years the case was dead because the Department of Public Safety and the police officers didn't have the technology, the support that they needed. Well, we were able to get that done, and I'm proud to say that vicious monster is behind bars, waiting for trial for murder right now. We can get it done, ladies and gentlemen, but there is more work to be done. As a legislator, I passed the Opioid Epidemic Act, the most comprehensive of its kind in Arizona, in the history of Arizona, to empower our police officers to stop these drugs invading our community. But there is more work to be done. The system is failing us, ladies and gentlemen. Those are not my words. Those are the words of a widow who buried her husband, a hero, a police officer, killed in the line of duty a couple weeks ago. She said the system is failing us. She's right, and we have to stop it. It's time to stop defunding the police and start defending the police. Yeah. And that includes our brave border sheriffs who are putting their lives on the line every day. We need to give them the resources they need. We need to stand up and fight for them. The system is failing us. Nowhere is that more evident than in public safety, but also in our classrooms. We know it. The pandemic pulled back the curtain on what's happening in our classrooms. I am a Scottsdale School District mom, and I see it every day. This 2022, I can assure you, is the year of the parent. We are not going to stay masked and silenced. We're going to stand up and get that quality education that we fight so hard for our children so they have opportunities. I stand here, the daughter of an immigrant, was a barber, grew up with no shoes. I had a world-class education, public school education. I'm a lawyer, I went to Harvard. My brother's a doctor, he went to Georgetown. Imagine that. A guy who had no shoes, came here with nothing, was a barber. That is the American dream, ladies and gentlemen. And we have to preserve it for the future generations. We have to make sure our kids are protected. Join me. Join Senator Bartow, who has amazing legislation for curriculum transparency, and we need to support her. We're running as a team. Please pick up a petition, help us get on the ballot, and we'll be honored to have your vote. Thank you so much. Thank you.